Steam's next fest is now live, featuring some of the most interesting games you'll ever see. There's just two problems. First, there are hundreds of demos coming out, so which one should have your attention? And also, are the games actually fun to play? Sometimes the trailer doesn't really match the gameplay and you're just left disappointed. But that's where I come in. My name is Marco and I've been playing a whole bunch of demos during the Steam Next Fest, and I'll be presenting my top picks that I think you are really going to enjoy from different genres, different niches. So stick around and maybe leave a like or subscribe if you enjoy my kind of content. But let's begin. Like, the first game I played was Windrose, where you get to be your true pirate self in this demo that has got everyone excited. It's a bit like Valheim and Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, and it comes with online co-op too. So similar to Valheim, you'll be able to craft, build stuff, and try to survive on this island. You know, the usual survival game formula. But you're also a pirate, Harry, and you get to do some pretty epic naval combat, and you get to take command of your ship, board enemy vessels, and yell "Arr, mateys" in the process. It does come with a storyline too, where you are this captain who dares to challenge Blackbeard. I'm enjoying the look of the game too. The sea and the islands just look so majestic. Honestly, if they manage to iron out some of the bugs, this could be this year's best survival game yet. So if you were disappointed with Skull and Bones and love titles like Conan, Dune, and Valheim and want to enjoy that same experience but sailing the high seas, definitely check out the demo of Windrose today. Then when it comes to 2D platformers, it takes a lot for me to take notice of them, but when you throw in this epic visual style in this cyberpunk world, well, you've got my attention. Replaced has been on my radar for some time now, it feels like years, but now with the demo out, I wanted to see if it was worth the hype. Turns out it's not bad. You're in control of Reach, this AI trapped in a human body against its will, and now you'll need to uncover the sinister secrets of this evil Phoenix corporation. The game is set in an alternate 1980s America after a nuclear catastrophe filled with enemies and intense encounters. But come on, these graphics are what this game is all about. Plus, it comes with a synthwave soundtrack, and it all just comes together, including that combat and gameplay that isn't bad either. It feels very slick and smooth. You can do cool combos, sneak around, and as well as all these other standard parkour things. I was mostly tripping on stuff, but overall I like what I see and I can't wait to play more. The demo just gives you a good taste of what's to come, so if you're looking for your next platforming adventure, maybe give Replaced a try today. So personally, I love my fast-paced action games where one wrong move can mean the end, and that's exactly what Enter the Chronosphere is, a turn-based bullet hell roguelike where time only moves when you do. So yes, think super hot mixed up with Enter the Gungeon in this isometric perspective, and you get the idea. And it is pretty cool. In the game you get to control someone in this crew of misfits, this bear being my favorite, he just smashes up the place. But you still need to use a bunch of crazy weapons and gadgets to take down some wild alien creatures. You play on these planet-like chronospheres, fighting your way through each level to reach its core, each one being harder than the last. When you die, the chronosphere resets and you have to try again. That means that you'll need to learn new strategies, find the best weapons and gear, and just try to keep going deeper until you're strong enough to destroy the core. The visuals hit hard, they're vibrant and colorful, and they're very trippy, but in a very cool way. The publishers, Joystick Ventures, were kind enough to sponsor this video, so if you like what you see, maybe check out the link in the description if you'd like to try out the demo during the Steam Next Fest to help support my channel. So this Next Fest I felt was lacking a bit in the colony sims, I'll be honest, but after spending some time with this game, well, what more do you need? Steel Artery is a train city builder. It literally says so in the title, and straight away I was sucked into the complexity and just the interesting mechanics. Us colony sim fans are used to this kind of setup. So many systems are thrown at you, but the tutorial does a great job at explaining all the mechanics. In this fantasy steampunk world, you'll need to build a living city of thousands of citizens, all from different walks of life. This means looking after their food, shelter, hygiene, and more as you navigate this foreign land. It's such a cool concept, and when you zoom out, you get to see your train take shape little by little, but then you can also zoom in again and see what everyone is up to, creating your own story as you go. That is why I love colony sims, and I think they've nailed the vibe here. To me, it reminded me a bit of Songs of Six, except from the side. Similar graphics too, but it's that same kind of feeling of having different races and different politics going on all at once. So if you're a fan of colony sims and city builders and want something just to spend a few hours or hundreds of hours on, I think Steel Artery might just be for you. Survival-based builders are a dime a dozen these days, but you don't often see a cozy one where you can cruise around with friends in a mobile home. Outbound lets you explore this colorful world where you get to build your own custom home on wheels. Does it defy the laws of gravity? Sure, but is it as charming as hell? Hell yeah. The game is set in this utopian future where it's safe to sleep outside and your vehicle runs on logs apparently. I played the demo during my last live stream and yeah, it's got a lot of potential. You and up to 3 of your nature-loving friends can join up to travel around in this camper van / pop-up eco-friendly resort. There's no danger, where the only threats are running out of berries to feed the local wildlife. When it comes to the base building aspects though, it's all modular, letting you set up furniture, appliances, and even this totally safe sewing machine that you can drive around with. I had a lot of fun in the demo, and if you're looking for something that's got this crazy chilled out vibe to it, where you can share that experience with friends or a loved one, then maybe go check out Outbound today. And now what if your friends wanted less chill and more shoot everything that moves? Well then this is the game for you. Far Far West is this crazy cool co-op shooter similar to games like Deep Rock Galactic or maybe even Helldivers 2. In the game you'll form a group of up to 4 players, playing as these bounty hunting robot cowboys as you take on dangerous contracts from the town sheriff. Yeehaw! That means that you'll need to track down some dangerous targets, take them out and bring home the bounty. Like you might even come across a cursed evil saloon that's flying in the air. The movement is so fluid, it reminded me a bit of Gunfire Reborn, but the levels are huge, so much so that you can just jump on your horse and ride it around like you're in Elden Ring, the Western Edition. Then back at the town you get to upgrade your guns, spells, and abilities. Yes, I said spells, it's that weird West, remember? So you can choose to specialize in weapons or magic, whatever floats your boat. So far, Far West is looking great, runs smooth, and is highly recommended to check out, especially if you've got a few friends who also enjoy this fast-paced action. And if you've ever been wanting to look for a survival game to sink hundreds of hours in, and maybe do it with a friend too, well then this one might surprise you. Romestead gives me the action-adventure feeling of Valheim with the survival elements, but it also has a lot of Stardew Valley elements thrown in too, especially when it comes to that visual style. At first I thought, hey, how good can this game be? As it turns out, it's very damn fun. In Rome, there's been this apocalyptic event, everything is left in ruins, and its citizens have now turned into these weird zombie-like creatures, and now you need to try to survive. You and up to 8 friends can choose a class. I went with a gladiator, but right from the get-go, you know that they're aiming for a game that's got such huge potential. There's so much you can do. First up, you can build a home for not only you, but for other citizens that can come and work for you. The game feels so alive. Tons of animals and weird creatures are roaming around, and just the way that they've thought of everything, like the various quality of life features that so many games before it need to have. Each world is procedurally generated, where you can explore dungeons, offer sacrifices to the various Roman gods, try to defeat bosses, and overall, try to live out your best Roman life. I had so much fun in the demo, so maybe go check out Romestead if you like games like Stardew Valley, but just wanted it with less farming and more action and RPG gameplay. Now, if the phrase Tony Hawk's but with trains ever got your attention, this is the game for you. Denshattack is probably one of the wildest concepts for a game I've seen in this next fest, which, trust me, is very surprising, but it's also the execution of this game that caught me off guard. Retro arcade jet set radio vibes is what I think they're going for here, where, yeah, you guessed it, you'll be controlling this train car, going from one stop to the next, trying to pull off some tricks and dodge obstacles coming your way. The controls are easy to use, difficult to master, and it's so fluid, although I highly recommend using a controller and not a keyboard. But this game brought me right back to the old school days of arcade games, where everything from the visuals to the soundtrack is loud and in your face. While the demo is short, it's a lot of fun and gives a great taste of what's to come. So if you're looking for something to add some flavor to your boring game library, maybe go check out Denshattack today. Now, it's not often deck builders pique my interest, but when it's getting published by Hooded Horse and it feels a bit like Into the Breach but on rails, well, I sit forward in my chair. Fogpiercer is a unique roguelike deck builder where your train is your base, but also you have these deck of cards, if that makes sense. The game takes place in this frozen wasteland where you have to guide your locomotive through these bandit-infested territories to reach the last safe havens of humanity. When it comes to the battles, combat takes place on a tactical grid where your train is front and center. You use your cards to blast away enemies, shield your cargo, and even ram hostiles off the tracks. Like Into the Breach, you can also manipulate enemy units, use them to shove each other or shoot each other. It's really satisfying all the time when you pull those off. Then between all that action, you'll be navigating a branching world map where you get to choose where you want to go and what you want to upgrade. In the full version, you'll get to play as different drivers, unlock different locomotives, and just test out different strategies and epic powers that come with it. So if you're a fan of games like Into the Breach, FTL, and Monster Train, get it? Well, then maybe go check out the demo of Fogpiercer today. Now, have you ever wanted a game where you can just zone out, turn off your brain, and just enjoy that sweet dopamine rush? Well, Everything is Crab might just be that kind of game. Is it silly? Sure. It's a bit like Spore meets Vampire Survivors, where you're constantly killing, eating, and then evolving, choosing different traits depending on your playstyle. Ever since Spore came out, I love the idea of evolving your character as you play. Do you want to add horns, maybe some scales? Do you want to be bigger or maybe faster? There are all these predators all over the place, bosses as well, and you need to try your best to stay on top of the food chain. It's such silly fun, but I could easily see myself spending hours just trying to make the most overpowered build, becoming the ultimate apex predator. The humor is cute, but if you like the visuals and just want something fun and addictive with a game that has some very cool mechanics to it, maybe you check out Everything is Crab today. Remember when I said sometimes I want a game where I can just turn my brain off? Well, Starship Troopers Ultimate Bug War is a first-person shooter that allows me to do just that. This game feels like so much like a classic shooter from back in the day. From the retro graphics, the in-person cutscenes, and just the mindless carnage that you got from games like Serious Sam. In the demo, you play as Major Diet in this tropical island of Zagama Beach, a large open map that you'll need to complete various objectives, ranging from protecting ships to this mini base. The bugs are just as terrifying as the ones in the movies, and they nail the intense feeling of mowing down the arachnid menace. The guns feel weighty, especially when I jumped into this mech suit and I just started chainsawing this giant bug. It was insane. Yes, it's only single player, but at the start it shows human missions, which shows that we might also get to enjoy missions where you play for the other team. Starship Troopers Ultimate Bug War is a lot of fun, and while it's a little rough in some places, I highly recommend it if you want that lip-pouting action or you listen to some heavy metal music. So point-and-click adventures are somewhat of a dying breed when it comes to the video game genres. Well, unless it's the studio. Phonopolis is from the creators Amanita Design, where they brought us games like Machinarium and Samarost, games a little out there for most, but such quality gameplay and visual design. This is another puzzle game where you just have to stop and admire just everything that's going around you. The world, the characters, and the props are all handmade and hand-painted with real cardboard and surfaces before they get scanned into the game engine. And I gotta say, it looks incredible. The voice acting is quality stuff too, and so too is the gameplay. You play as Felix, this adorable dustman that's trying to figure out what's going on in this place, as he's immune to the commands of these loudspeakers that are just surrounding the place. I'm not the biggest fan of puzzles, but even in the demo, I got sucked into this dystopian 1984-like world. In the game, society is being run by these loudspeakers all around that dictate every aspect of people's existence. The music is also from the same person who did Machinarium and Samarost, and even though I don't remember those all too well, it is quality stuff. So if you want a new puzzle game where your senses are just going to be tickled every step of the way, maybe check out Phonopolis today. It is such a cool game. Now I'll have to be honest, I haven't played a lot of Total War games. I know the games are great, but I always felt overwhelmed by it all. So when this popped up, it looked right up my alley. Tabletop Tavern is this real-time strategy that's played, well, you guessed it, over this large table in a tavern. It's got these roguelike elements thrown in too, which you'll be happy with or sad about, but in the game you'll be fighting these epic battles, moving up this map, choosing your path, and upgrading your units along the way. The graphics are charming, the low poly graphics help you out when there are so many units attacking all at once, and the controls are easy to get used to as well. If you've played any real-time strategy before, you'll know exactly what to expect. I also enjoyed the units. It reminded me a bit of Age of Empires meets fantasy with orcs and knights all on the same battlefield, and other cool units too that take down your enemy. However, just because it's simple doesn't mean tactics aren't key. I got wiped out very early on just because I wasn't paying attention. It is single player only, but it is neat to see some real-time strategy games branching off and doing some different ideas with different gameplay elements. So if you are a Total War veteran, or maybe you just want a roguelike where catapulting your units into the enemy in slow motion looks like a lot of fun, then Tabletop Tavern might just be for you. But that wraps up my video. What did you think? Did I leave out any games? Let me know in the comment section below, as well as what do you think are your top picks. So if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like, maybe subscribe to find more content like this. Big thanks to my channel members, you guys always mean so much to me. And other than that, it's Marco here from Easily Distracted Games, and as always, don't stop gaming.